going to kick things off here with the Irish Examiner, who have a picture of a fairly focused looking Graham McDowell from the PGA Championship yesterday. Obviously the newspapers are a little bit behind where the current leaderboard is at. McDowell for, I think it was a level par yesterday, to put him in a tie for 17th, and the lead standing at 7 under par for Brooks Koepka. I can grind with the best of them. McDowell makes solid start. We haven't heard from him in such a long time. That's almost the most surprising thing from there. You've Derek McGrath's thoughts on Waterford for the weekend. You've Ronan O'Gara inside as well. That's the Irish Examiner.
Yeah, Derek McGrath tipping Waterford to win in Semple this weekend, actually, in the Irish Examiner. The back page of the Irish Daily Star is Fight Club, a City Blast witch hunt as UEFA investigate. The headline then on the golf focuses on Rory McIlroy. He says he's left in Brooks's wake, and dubstar Johnny has eye on the job. Johnny Cooper is doing the rounds, and he's in all the newspapers this morning talking about the hurt of 2014.
In the sports pages of The Guardian this morning, you've a shot of Brooks Koepka there. Tiger Woods, in fact, busy at work at the PGA Championship, and the Woods left trailing by Koepka's brilliance. Most of the field in his wake there. A manager spells it out, is the other interesting line from The Guardian here. England will not walk off for racist abuse, says Southgate. He's had a conversation, because I think we read out this headline a couple of months ago where Southgate said that if racist abuse was to be sent in their direction, they'd walk off the pitch. He's met the players. They've said, we don't want to be the story, and that's not what we're going to do.
The back page of the Mirror is Nathan Doing. Redmond's English call-up could end interest from the Irish, which be interested to get your take on in a minute, Kev. And exclusive, Raheem, the big interview. We've won back-to-back titles, and it's not going to end there. He's spoken to John Cross in this morning's Mirror.
Press pause there for a minute. I can see you're itching to go. The
I'm saying nothing,
Telegraph sports section. Catch me if you can. This is, again, Brooks Koepka and Tiger Woods from the PGA Championship. That's the Telegraph.
The Irish Daily Mail is City slam UEFA, Blues hit back amid fears of Champions League expulsion, and Graham McDowell there pictured above him. The headline reads, Koepka on fire as GMAC finds his mojo.
Racing Post, it's Telecaster rocks the Derby market. Morrison Ace 6-1 for the Epsom Derby after Dante triumph. This is the Racing Post this morning.
The back page of the Times Ireland edition is Mooney back to support troubled FAI. This is Noel Mooney, the former League of Ireland goalkeeper and, of course, marketing manager, except for a return home as part of UEFA's rescue plan for the FAI. There's Rory Best pictured ahead of their Guinness Pro 14 semi-final. Solskjaer says he will get the backing of the board and ground sale clubs accused. So the English Football League will review its financial fair play rules this summer after complaints from clubs in the Championship that their rivals are exploiting the system by selling off their grounds and leasing them back as a way of balancing the books. A couple more then.
They didn't give me too many papers on. That's what happened there.
Just hogging them all this morning. The Herald leads with Johnny Cooper. Cooper driven by 2014, the pain of Donegal loss fights off Dub's complacency. And then finally, possibly the best to the last, tab of the morning to you. The Sun goes with Goat to Hell. City war with a nanny-loving ex-Belgium PM. Champions League ban looms after Chiefs financial fair play guilty verdict. So this is Yves Leterme, the former Belgian Prime Minister, who's leading the charge against Manchester City in this FFP story. He's got a couple of goats. They are called Trudy and Vicky. So there's your most important piece of information. A herd of animals in his garden, but they're the only two named ones. More as I get it.
That's the papers for this morning. I mean, it almost doesn't matter. The goat, it's a good headline, but almost the picture gets tagged well.
They obviously got the picture there, like we have to make a story around this.
Yeah. I mean, I'm all up for that. Two things to come back to then. The Nathan Redmond story is that, having given it a very scant scan this morning, is that Redmond's English call-up could end interest from Irish.
Could end.
I mean, I would suggest that if there's even a sniff that he's interested in getting involved with England, that's the end of that.
Well, I mean, we've spoke about him in the past, haven't we? I think he's been in the England squad before anyway. Is he the record England caps holder under 21 level? I mean, Mick has said himself, hasn't he? It's a duty to try to get the best team available to him. He's spoken to Nathan Redmond. I believe his mum's from Dublin. I think that's right, Nathan Redmond. But he's played for England. There's no.
If he was to fulsomely come out and say, well, look, I did play for England underage. Actually, my Irish roots are strong, and obviously I seem to be on that English path. But I'm good to go now.
Well, again, reading between the lines, I don't know. Mick has spoken about it quite loosely. He's spoken to Nathan Redmond. He's not really given too much information out. But it seems to me that he was kind of stringing Mick along. He was not really committed to it. It wasn't necessarily the way that he was looking going forward anyway. So in my mind, no, he doesn't want to play for us. No, he's not Irish. Don't pick him. Don't pursue him anyway. Certainly don't pursue him. And I think that's the way Mick's gone about it. He's asked the question, same as Patrick Bamford, asked the question, been quite non-committal on it. No, it's fine. Move on. That's it. No story.
Yeah, if he plays a few friendlies for England and then decides he's up for us, what you're saying. Well, I'm reading between the lines.
Well, I wouldn't want him, personally. I wouldn't want him. No, you know that yourself. You know the answer to that before you even asking the question. No, I wouldn't want him. He's played. I don't. The rule's nonsense anyway. But as soon as that's the case, he's played for England. No, he's English, so no.
Hot take, Eoin. Hot take, Sheahan.
Well, you're in a much better position than I am to speak about this. I kind of go along with the same thing, to be honest. Also, as well, the storyline that you're trying to get across here is that obviously, if he chooses England, of course, that's the book closed. If he even leans towards them at this point and says he is English, I think it makes it a bit tougher, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's the Nations League as well. The class as competitive games now, anyway. So if he comes on at any stage, he's ineligible anyway. So the story won't even be there then.
I think we had, was it Redmond and Bamford, those two stories kind of emerged at around the same time.
Yeah.
And not going to lie, I tend to get caught up in the bright lights of a good Premier League player or potential Premier League player in Bamford's case getting talked about Ireland, and really that's been chipped away at over the past couple of months, like this story and Patrick Bamford's diving.
Bamford being a shithouse. Suddenly everybody went, it's fine. Actually, it's grand if we don't get him. That's all right.
But let's kind of like, that is a huge part of it. I mean, ultimately, we are talking about taking people into the fold, and you're talking about taking people as well as footballers into the fold. And like, I mean, I had no reason to dislike Nathan Redmond. I still have no reason to dislike Nathan Redmond. And I think the Patrick Bamford situation with the two incidences of diving, because let's not forget the dive during the week as well, kind of has got me thinking.
Well, I tell you what,
it's kind of got people off the fence. It kind of proves that we're actually very movable on this.
Yeah, well, we've had enough Irish players that have dived over the years.
I know that,
let's be honest. So,
but that proves how loose we are around these players.
Yeah.
That in my opinion, can change on Patrick Bamford and his nationality based on the fact that he's made two dives. Just shows how ridiculous the whole thing is.
Well, I wouldn't pick him anyway. Again, he's another one that's been so non-committal on it.
If he comes into the squad, conversely, if he does come into the squad, bangs in a couple of goals, suddenly we're all aboard the Patrick Bamford.
Well, no, we've got to. We've said that we've got to support the shirt, haven't we? We have to. That's the way that it is. But he, in general, has never once wanted to commit to us. And he's been, again, it seems to me, he's been very, very loose with Mick when Mick's had the conversations with him. If you want to play for us, you make contact. You certainly answer text and you get in contact with the necessary people. And he's not wanted to. He's not showed any inclination that he wants to come and play for us. What? Patrick Bamford also. No, I personally don't want them in the squad. No, and I think Mick's taken the right route of just tentatively speak to them. Put the olive branch out there. If they're not receptive, no. Thanks very much.
What do you think was the situation between Mick and Patrick Bamford? Was it like two blue ticks, just kind of ignored? Was it? Does he have his send receipts off on WhatsApp?
I don't know if Mick's on WhatsApp, is he? I don't know. He probably has to be now.
Maybe that's the issue.
Part of group share. That's what it would be. But he knows full well. I don't know. I don't know what or how Mick has tried to contact him. Was there talk of his agent as well being involved at some stage? Again, you don't use your agent. It goes beyond. It goes beyond club football. It goes beyond trying to better yourself for your career. You either want to play for Ireland or you don't, and clearly he doesn't. So no, you just don't pursue that. In my mind, anyway.
All right, we do want to get into Kevin Kilbane's Premier League Team of the Decade. And we're going to do that in just a few moments. John Giles, though, was on Off the Ball last night, as he is every Thursday. He was on with Joe yesterday evening. He is not at all convinced that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the man for Manchester United.
He did brilliantly when he came in. I think he was the right man for the job at that particular time, Joe. They did need somebody to do what he did, as they say, put his arm around them. I got a little bit of a laugh, well, a smile last week when I saw in the paper. He was actually saying, we've got to stop looking back. We can't keep looking back. I mean, that's exactly what he was doing when he came, from the time he came in, was looking back. This is what we did in Barcelona. This is the Manchester United, all that carry on. Now he's in a position, again, he has to manage now. He's saying the same things as Mourinho said. The players are not doing this, players not doing that. Again, I wouldn't have given them the 3-year contract at that time, Joe, and I did say it at the time. I would wait until the end of the season, and I'm not so sure now that Manchester United will stick with giving him the 3-year contract.
Really?
Oh, well, again, like I'm only looking at things in a certain way. Pochettino made some unbelievable remarks last week, Joe, where he said, you know, I might have a sabbatical, I might go, I might do this unless I get this from the manager, from the chairman. You know, for somebody that's in a position in the Champions League final, to be making the comments that he made last week, I found strange, to say the least.
It was strange, all right. Even in the press conference, a few journalists said, "Hang on, are you saying what we think you're saying here?" It would be, it'd be a really tough decision and probably unfair to turn around to Solskjaer before he has a full season and say, "Look, we need to end this early." But like,
that's what you have to do, Joe.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
pay him off. Like, pay him. You know, but for example, if they are going for Pochettino, it's going to cost them about 40 million. And it's going to give Solskjaer, if they give Solskjaer 3 to 5 million, it's going to cost them 45 million, for example. That's pittance, Joe.
Yeah.
In relation to having a successful Manchester United, in relation to a non-successful Manchester United. And if I were the boss at Manchester United, that's what I would do.
Is that what you do?
What a combo that is as well. I saw that Giles and Malloy together.
Power couple.
Oh, that's the superpower.
Mentor and mentee.
Yeah. Oh, that's.
I can only imagine that Nathan's watching this and crying into his cornflakes.
Yeah, exactly.
The depth of relationship that exists there.
Exactly. They've formed a strong bond, Nathan, haven't they? And
Are you
Johnny?
having that? Solskjaer, short story. Solskjaer out, Poch in.
Well, yeah, I could see it. I think it would have been a better fit anyway. I do think that, and United could not give Solskjaer the job given what had happened. I'm probably with John what you're saying there along the lines of that there was no reason for Man United to give him the job, and Pat Nevin had said it all the way through as well. Why not give him a 1-year rolling contract, which it was the same as Alan Pardew years ago when he signed that 7-year, 8-year deal at Newcastle. It was a 1-year rolling contract essentially. That's all it was. That's what I think United probably should have done with Solskjaer. Definitely should have waited to the end of the season just to keep everything right until they keep everything ticking over to the end of the season. Follow the original plan. Don't divert from that, regardless of what happened on the pitch. But there was that furore around it after that PSG result, which, let's be honest, United were outplayed across the 180 minutes in that game anyway. They never should have gone through in that game. Yes, they produced a brilliant defensive performance to keep them at bay, but that was where it all come around. So. Yeah, I think there's deeper problems. There's so many players that need to be bought and sold. Now, if he's got a team around him that's going to help him to do that, yes, that's going to be great. But I don't know, it just doesn't grab me as that man that has to, you know, the strong enough character that's going to take that club forward. And it might be harsh on him because of the job that he has done, certainly initially in turning the club around. But I think he got what was needed at that time. They needed just that little bit of arse kissing the players there, you know. If that's all they needed someone to come in and put their arm around them and get hold of the team, and that's what he did initially. And they've just gone back to the lazy mode that they've been producing over the last few years. That's kind of how it's gone. Yeah,
maybe we see Solskjaer's team 2.0 next season, and he proves everybody wrong and brings in his own players and ships out all those assholes, and suddenly it's...
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very unlikely, but...
I mean, John talked about Poch there as well with Pochettino. I wasn't surprised with what Pochettino said last week, given that they've got to the Champions League final. He's in a position of power now. Clearly, he's been unhappy for a long time with the lack of investment in that side, and the lack of funds that were available to him last summer, not able to bring anybody in, or even in January. It's quite telling that where the club are and the amazing job that he's done in getting them to the Champions League final. I think he's in a position of power now that he can actually say it, be a bit looser, and give his opinion a lot more now.